Okay, let's jump right into this. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are going to completely demystify the baby toy market. Look, if you have ever found yourself wandering down a toy aisle or maybe endless scrolling online for baby gifts, you know it can be incredibly overwhelming. There is just so much stuff. So our goal today is actually pretty simple. We are going to map the perfect toys directly to a baby's rapid first-year development. We're cutting through the noise and focusing on what literally matters most. You might be wondering, what toys does a baby actually need? If you're confused by this, I promise you, you are definitely not alone. It is a completely valid feeling. The first year of a baby's life changes incredibly fast. Seriously, it feels like they are a completely different person every single week, right? But here's the really good news. The right toys can actually support your baby's development at every single stage of that rapid growth without totally overwhelming them or, let's be honest, completely taking over your living room. To do this, here is our agenda. We'll be taking a chronological journey through that first year. We'll hit 0 to 3 months, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, and 9 to 12. And then we'll top it all off with some essential toy safety rules. So as you can see, our path spans 4 distinct developmental quarters. Think of each of these blocks as a massive leap in what a baby's brain and body can actually do. Keeping this timeline in the back of your mind is going to make it so much easier to understand why a toy that is absolutely perfect for the first block is entirely different from what they need in the last block. All right, let's start with Section 1, 0 to 3 months. In this very first stage, newborns are essentially just waking up to their environment. This phase is all about early sensory learning. During these first few months, a baby is laser-focused on early vision tracking and sound recognition. Their eyesight is still developing, and they are really just trying to make sense of the noises they hear around them. Because of this, they absolutely do not need complex gadgets. What they need are specific, simple items that cater directly to these developing senses. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, the absolute best toys for this newborn stage include high-contrast black and white cards. These are fantastic, honestly, because a newborn's developing eyes can actually focus on those stark contrasts, which really aids in early vision tracking. We also have soft rattles, baby mobiles to hang above the crib, and my personal favorite, crinkly sensory cloth books. The gentle sounds of a soft rattle or a crinkly book, they perfectly stimulate that developing sound recognition we just talked about. Moving right along to Section 2, 3 to 6 months. Okay, so as babies transition from being kind of passive observers into active explorers, the crucial milestone for this stage becomes hand-eye coordination. This is the phase where babies develop the vital ability to coordinate what their eyes are looking at with the movements of their little hands. It's all about sensory exploration now. They see something interesting and their brain has to literally figure out how to command their arm to reach out and grab it. It is a massive cognitive leap. Seriously, the amount of sheer brain power it takes just to successfully grab a dangling toy at this age, it's absolutely incredible. Let's look at the best toys to foster this exact development. Because they are actively reaching and grabbing, you want teething toys made of safe silicone and light rattles that have easy grip handles. Basically, you want things their little fingers can successfully clasp onto. Activity playmats are incredible here too, because they give the baby a safe space to lie down, look up, and bat at hanging objects. And soft textured balls give them this really unique tactile feedback as they practice grabbing. Every single item here directly supports that hand-eye coordination and sensory discovery loop. Halfway there. Section 3, 6 to 9 months. By this halfway mark, babies can usually set up independently. And once their hands are free, their brain enters this amazing phase of early problem solving. They are rapidly working on coordination and learning cause and effect relationships. They start to realize, hey, if I do this action, that reaction happens. It's basically the very beginning of scientific thinking. To really support this early problem solving, you're going to want to look for stacking cups, soft blocks, cause and effect toys with buttons and sounds, and activity cubes. Just think about stacking cups for a second. To successfully stack them, a baby has to use precise coordination. And toys with buttons perfectly teach cause and effect. I push the red button and a sound plays. These toys are perfectly aligned with exactly what their brain is trying to master at this 6 to 9 month mark. On to the home stretch. Section 4, 9 to 12 months. Okay, prepare yourselves because energy levels are about to absolutely skyrocket. We clearly define this as the movement stage. This phase is totally defined by motion, crawling, pulling themselves up to stand, and for some, taking those very first walking steps. Because their bodies are suddenly doing so much, their developmental focus shifts heavily toward balance and full body coordination. To support this high-energy movement stage, you want toys that safely encourage balance. Push walkers are amazing for giving them stability as they practice taking steps. Ride-on toys also help with that gross motor coordination. But we also don't want to forget their cognitive growth, which is exactly why shape sorters and simple musical instruments are on this list. They encourage early learning concepts while the baby is physically engaging with their environment. Just prepare your ears for a lot of enthusiastic drumming as they figure out their own strength. Finally, Section 5, Essential Toy Safety Rules. Let's take a quick breath and pivot to the most critical part of this explainer. Because look, no matter how great a toy is for development, none of it matters if the toy isn't safe. So here is your non-negotiable checklist. Step 1, always ensure toys are BPA-free and non-toxic. Babies explore the world with their mouths, so whatever they're chewing on needs to be perfectly safe. Step 2, check that toys are large enough to avoid any choking hazards. Step 3, verify safety certifications. A really great example of a strict standard to look for is the EN 71 certification in Europe. And step 4, confirm the toys are easy to clean, because trust me, they are definitely going to get messy. So, what is the big takeaway from all the data we've looked at today? Well, it really boils down to a simple comparison. Simple, safe, and development-focused toys versus complicated and expensive ones. The sources are incredibly clear on this. Simple, safe toys that deliberately target a baby's current developmental stage will absolutely always beat out the complicated, flashy, expensive gadgets. You really don't need to break the bank to give a baby exactly what their growing brain needs. I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Next time you're looking at a toy, ask yourself, are your baby's toys actually helping them grow or just keeping them busy? By aligning the toys in your home with the developmental milestones we discussed today, from early vision tracking, to reaching, to problem solving, to walking, you can make incredibly intentional choices. You literally have the power to turn playtime into an amazing foundation for their future. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy playing.